All right. It's Rare Whiskey Friday.
Rare Whiskey Friday! We're going to go through and get first impressions on several different bottlings. These aren't necessarily large brands. Sometimes they are. More often than not, these are going to be your smaller craft distilleries without a lot of distribution. If you should be so lucky, still live in a place with these whiskeys, then you're welcome for the review, and thank you to the magnificent bastards that sent the whiskey. It was like a B+. It's like a B+. It's B+.
So this is a gift from Magnificent Bastard. Now, so here's the thing. There's a spelling of the name. How would you, right here, just the top, how would you pronounce that?
It's either Strausbaugh or Strausbaugh.
It's neither. I said the exact same thing. Yeah. It's, according to him, Strausbaugh. Strausbaugh. With L at the end, right? And I thought phonetically,
hold on,
that's easy to fuck up.
Sam Strausbaugh, you magnificent bastard.
We could call him Sam. You call him James. Did you say James?
I said Sam.
Did
you say Sam? I said Sam.
I don't know.
I said Sam. Wait.
It's easily phonetically.
Wait.
Yeah.
One of us is right, one of us is wrong, and Dan's going to point to the right or wrong person. Right? No.
Straw balls could easily be the phonetic mistake of that. I have a vivid memory from high school when going to a certain restaurant with the youth group.
Yes.
And I was like 9th grade. I'm like screwing around with playing with words, like a big table of people. And we went to Fuddruckers.
Yes.
And I was talking about this is one of my favorite places. And I mixed up the R and the F.
Rudders?
Ruddfuckers.
Ruddfuckers?
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is a treasure. You leave him alone.
All right, and all I have to say, Bluebird Distillery in Pennsylvania, woo, there it is doing wheat whiskey. This is 100% wheat.
Very dense.
It's very much that
very dense
thing.
You got the...
That's my thing.
Yeah, but that's mixed in with other layers, though.
I agree, there's other things in there.
There's a layer you do not like.
But there's really don't like.
You're talking about like a little bit of the pine sadness,
yeah,
like
that sappy note that's like so grain forward, the grain still feels like freshly, like it's like the...
Underneath that,
yeah,
there are some dark, heavy fruits.
Fresh cut grass mixed with all of the
fresh cut
grain.
You get the fresh cut grass?
Yeah, the green grass, like a lawnmower, right? Scraping it off underneath of a lawnmower.
With the dark, rich fruits.
With the dark fruits, yes, I agree.
Okay.
But I've got to get past that first note to get comfortable with
That's
this.
your least favorite note in all
It is
whiskey.
absolutely my least favorite note.
Right.
I actually prefer hops.
Really?
To this note.
Wow.
I know, and I hate hops.
Yeah, I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Wow.
This is why I spot it so quickly.
Yeah.
It can sometimes come across as either cut grass or asparagus.
So,
the fresh pop.
One thing about that note, though, like some of the, smoky whiskeys out there, if you live in that glass, you do acclimate to that first.
You do, like peat.
Yeah, you acclimate to that, generally, that note first, and then you start to find the other things underneath it.
I could see if I worked at this distillery and that became normal to me, I might start writing all these other tasting notes, never remembering that.
I will say that is a very dark whiskey, though.
Yeah.
Even a small sample.
I don't even know how old it is.
Tons of color on that. They got to be doing small barrels.
Bottle number 5.
I'm guessing.
Or batch 5, bottle number 305.
I'm guessing. This is totally
small barrels, kiln age.
Totally pull it on my ass. I'm saying 15-gallon barrels, not yard age for over a year. I'm thinking probably kiln age. Yeah.
And those cuts are going a little. I don't know what the cuts are, but it's for years I've been trying to track down where this note comes from. And I haven't been able to pin it down.
Well, now
I've had a lot of opinions by different distillers saying, "Oh, that note, that absolutely comes from here," and then someone else I respect says the opposite.
Right.
So
I'm living in it. I'm huffing it. I'm getting past that note because there is a really dense, like an oaky molasses.
Ooh. Yeah, but taste it, and then that note dominates, and then the finish is the oaky molasses you're talking about.
I was huffing it, much more aggressively than you. I'm past the pine.
Okay.
The oaky molasses does have, I do think it's small barrels. It does have a little bit of that barrel bitter note that lands on the finish, but you have like that deep, heavy, dark molasses. There's some dark fruity notes in there, but this is like a dense whiskey. It just has the note that Daniel does not like at all.
Yeah.
Certainly not my favorite.
It's unfortunate.
Certainly not my favorite, but...
This is a gift from Tristan Elliott, magnificent bastard.
Tristan Elliott, you magnificent
Bastard.
This is a whiskey sourced from
It's dark too.
Kentucky, blended with their own stuff. This is a Las Vegas distillery.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Or, sorry, yeah, Kentucky. It's possible it's coming from the O.Z. Tyler distillery, which is, I think, TerraPure owns them. But anyway, it's infused spirits. These guys in Vegas do a bunch of infused clear spirits like vodkas and stuff with fruit.
Yep.
What they're doing with this is they're taking a young Kentucky bourbon and then putting oak chips from various other barrels into a tank.
So that makes sense for the dominant note that I'm getting right now. Mm-hmm. It's one of the earliest notes that has a lot of people liking it. It's that vanilla.
Yeah. French oak, ex-bourbon, and sherry chunks. Chunks of
so
wood.
it's not a French oak barrel. They just got chunks.
Chunks from a sherry barrel.
Okay, chunks. See what I mean by vanilla?
It does have that vanilla Kentucky bourbon vanilla cream.
Yeah.
With the vanilla turned up.
So whenever
A lot.
if you're doing like some small barrel stuff, if you're doing some. What was the entry proof for that vodka we did in a barrel, just to see what happens? Yeah, if you had like a
15
pretty high entry proof
to 120
barrel entry proof, then one of the earliest notes you're going to get, which is fortunately a very popular note. It's that vanilla note.
This also the strawberries and cream hard candy.
Oh yeah,
right. Those.
There is a shininess to it. Though. There's a brightness. There is almost like a crisp brittleness to these notes. There's not a lot of. This is important.
So not a lot of jowls.
Yeah. Not a lot of that, but you got a little.
It tastes like that sweet note followed by a slight wood astringency.
Slight wood astringency. It's not bad. I don't like the finish. It does get a little, like the barrel bitterness does show up for real.
Yeah.
That stays with you. But leading up to that, like some vanilla and some fruit. It's not thin because I think the flavors are dense enough, but it is brittle. There's not a lot of density or gravity to that. It's kind of shiny.
Okay, so this is from Matt Winters, the magnificent bastard.
Matt Winters, you magnificent
Bastard.
Matt Winters sent us Front Porch Distillery.
Yep.
This is Nacogdoches, Texas.
Okay.
But they're mixing.
A small startup distillery in Deep East Texas.
Yeah, they're mixing sourced Kentucky whiskey with something they make, I'm guessing. Because they say Texas.
Yeah.
It may not be something they make. I'm guessing it's something they make because they don't actually say anything about it.
I like that bottle.
But they do a bunch of other things other than whiskey. This is called 19 Oaks. It's a blended whiskey.
Okay.
Now, there are a bunch of different ways to end up with the term blended whiskey.
All of them involve a form of blending.
All of them involve blending different types of things.
Okay.
Right? So if it was a bourbon and they blended things, it would be a blended bourbon or a blended straight bourbon, right?
Yeah.
So they're mixing categories of whiskey somehow, but no matter where I looked, I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what's in this bottle.
Not turned off by the nose.
No.
It's like
I'm checking something.
there's light fruit. It's not. No, not even close.
No.
I see what you're
hang on.
pouring. I see what
I
you're
know.
pouring.
Dude, it's totally there. Yeah. Not everything, but the dominant note is that same base.
So, once again, bright and shiny. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of depth, not a lot of gravity, not a lot of density to these notes.
No.
But the American whiskey notes that are here, what is it? It started out as kind of like a fruity bourbon, but the more I go back to it, it's less and less fruity.
Yeah, it's weighing more and more icing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like cupcakes.
Okay.
Like with the metallic
Yep.
crunchy bits.
Yeah.
It actually tastes like there's cinnamon in there. It tastes like
A little dose.
a vanilla cream cupcake with cinnamon.
A little dose of cinnamon.
Or Red Hots.
It's pretty thin.
Remember on Valentine's when
Red
you used to get like Red Hots,
Yeah,
little
the
hearts
Red Hots
on
are
the
so aggressively
but like
cinnamon.
buried in the vanilla cream cupcake
Oh,
and
no.
yellow cupcake
No, I didn't have it.
is this Red Hot note. It's not that cinnamon. You wouldn't drink this and think, oh, Red Hots, but there's this cinnamon that's spicy as opposed to just like sugar cinnamon.
This
Not like
tastes-
cinnamon toast.
It tastes young and it tastes thin. But the flavors that are there, like a vanilla cream and a little bit of cinnamon, these are really nice flavors. What proof did they release this at? This is 47%. Yeah, even at 47%, I would expect more density and heft
Yeah.
to those notes. And I'm wondering if it's an age thing to where those notes haven't had time to really come mature and come into their own.
I would put this up against TX Blended as the cinnamon version to TX Blended's vanilla cream.
I see where you're going. But I think the reason why people like the TX Blended is it's basically like a vanilla ice cream note.
Yes.
It's like vanilla
This
ice.
is more like the slight spice. Like if you liked Big Red Gum,
Right.
you might like that.
Okay.
All right. So last but not least, a distillery that I love the name of, and this is a gift from Troy Bowman. Or Bowman or Bowman? B-O-W-M-A-N.
You say Bowman also, Bowman.
Troy Bowman!
Bowman! Bastard. You gotta.
You wait, I wasn't. So you want to try it again?
Troy Bowman! Magnificent bastard!
This reminds me of singing backup vocals. There was this one album that I used to sing on for a guy named Scott Underwood, and he had that sort of like Van Morrison delivery, where it was like he just was off, like bam, 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 just all over, but then he would land it.
Yeah.
And so it was like really vibey. But to sing backup vocals,
Right.
you had to hit all of his timing,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Because the harmonies were intricate
Right.
and they were not on the beat.
Oh. Wow.
Right, and so I would get called in by the producer always on his albums to be like, we need Daniel,
Right.
because Daniel's a drummer.
Right.
And so I would go, okay, play it, and then I'd like tap out the early fast and the late drops, and I'm like, okay, I got it, go. And then I'd track it, and it only took me 2 or 3 times, but it was like I had to be focused.
Intricate.
Yeah. All right, this is a distillery.
Red River.
This is Birmingham, Alabama.
All right.
And Dread River
Yep.
is evidently there's a myth about a secret river underneath Birmingham, and it's called the Dread River.
Okay.
But it's these guys that I can't figure out anything about this whiskey. I think they're making it. I think.
Yeah.
I don't actually know, but it's in theory.
That's an interesting straight whiskey.
But it's a blend, they say,
Okay.
of 3 different whiskeys.
Okay.
They just don't tell us which 3.
That's an interesting, common thread that we've seen in craft whiskey.
Yeah.
Because in this day and age, it's so easy to make a simple website.
Yeah.
Like Squarespace or Wix.
Yeah, but just no information on it.
Or
so-
like Shopify themes. Or
Yeah.
There's dozens of different things. And then you just put it, well, here, maybe it's just a single page, like a landing page. Single thing is like, here's a picture of a bottle, and here's where we are, and here's what we're doing. But the number of craft guys who will invest like tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars into equipment and years of effort and resources and manpower.
But 10 minutes on a website.
Not even.
Yeah. Their website's actually kind of elaborate. It's just not very informative.
Not informative. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least
Now,
they got one because my God.
the whiskey's from North Carolina.
Okay.
I think it's from Charleston Distilling Company.
Okay, can I say this? Can I say this? So far, I haven't tasted. I really like that nose.
Oh, this is new.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a unique, interesting angle that I'm kind of digging.
There's a funk on that, but it's not.
I'm digging
It's
it.
not the pine. It's not hot. It's not.
I'm digging the funk.
There's a funk though. It's musty.
It is
Like mushroom direction of meaty funk. You know what I mean?
It's like this. It's baking spices meets shrooms.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
actual like grilled mushrooms.
Yeah.
Or sautéed when they get heady and like the kind of mushroom that could replace a burger for a vegetarian.
I still need a shroom guy. I love me some shiitakes.
Oh. Yeah.
Those are amazing mushrooms, though. Like, you ever... Here's the thing. Like, I'm at a Chinese...
More than the portobello?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
There's no comparison.
Okay.
Like, you go to a Chinese food restaurant. If something has shiitake mushrooms in it,
Yeah.
I'm getting that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting. It's so musty.
At the same time...
Like vegetal earthy.
At the same time, this is unique, but I think we can also, at least me, be confident in saying if I stuck my nose in this blind, I'm still saying American whiskey.
It's so proteiny though, I'm almost getting soy sauce.
I get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost a savory.
Yeah. Instead of sweet.
That's
wow, this is
I'll hold
this is new.
Because we said like weird notes like mushrooms, blah, blah, blah. But I wouldn't call it challenging.
No.
No.
No, it's not a struggle.
No.
This is so
Yeah.
This is fun. 45%.
That's like really interesting. Yeah.
Huh.
I think,
The nose was where the magic was.
but
But
I think
it's drinkable-ish.
75% of what the nose promised was delivered on the taste.
Yeah, but then it's a little thin, a little flat.
But the finish is nice.
Yeah. The finish is where the protein, it's the aftertaste of like one of those Asian food dishes that's saucy.
Yeah.
You know, like a sweet and sour or like a, you know, like the
Yeah.
aftertaste of like meat with a sweet sauce on it.
And again, I think the thing, we're giving a lot of words towards the unique thing of this. The baking spices element is the familiar bit that makes me at least feel like, oh, okay, I'm an American whiskey. But then it does like this really interesting wrapper.
That is unique. I don't know that I would reach for it all the time.
Oh, I think I
but
would.
I like it.
Honestly,
And what an exploration. The second sip got better.
yeah, me too. There's more sweetness, more richness, more of the baking spice showed up on the second tip.
Yeah, it opened up a little bit.
I think I'd be reaching for this, often.
That's trippy.
That is
I mean, kudos for truly.
it is a nice balancing act between being interesting and unique, but not challenging.
Right.
There's a lot of whiskeys that we had. It's like, oh wow, that's so funky and interesting.
But
and
it's going
weird.
to toss people off.
Yeah, but you got to be ready for like a funky adventure. But to find that balance between stuff that's familiar, stuff that you like, and the stuff that's very unique, and it's not going to be hard to drink.
Right.
Yeah. Good on you, Dread River.
So here's the thing. I got this gift
Yeah.
from Sam Green, Psalm,
Yes.
and I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to tell you what it reminded all of us of when I showed it to a other group of people.
Yes. Wait, this
You know what this is?
this is your dumb head
Yeah.
put on. That's got to be like a classic painting. or
I think,
something.
yeah, it's like, it looks vaguely
Are
German.
you like a czar?
Yeah, evidently, yeah. But you know what it is?
What is it?
As soon as I say it, you're going to be like, oh, of course it is.
What is it?
It's Ghostbusters. It's the guy who comes out of the painting
That's really funny.
from Ghostbusters.
That's really funny.
It totally is.
Yeah, it's the ghost.
Yeah, it's this part Ghostbusters 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna call?
Yeah.
Honestly, the surprise hit of the day, the Dread River.
Yeah, did not see that coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was reading the back, and it was kind of like some.
Frou-frou story.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the notion that life is precious and not fragile, and each day we strive to confront our fears.
Blah, blah, blah,
It's like
blah,
it's a fucking whiskey bottle.
Yeah, it might as
Calm
well-
down, calm down. It's a whiskey bottle.
Might as well be a poster with a cat hanging from a tree line.
Pretty much. Value labels nonsense. Inside the bottle. Oh, wow, that's worth exploring.
Yes, yeah.
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
You steal, may you steal your living.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.
Lord.
There's a little hip action, but you weren't catching it.
Bottle Lord.
And we start with, I'm sorry. Wait. Happy hour drinks? Okay.
The Bottle Lord. He deserves to be Bottle Lord with that.